This is a live look at Lincoln Financial Field. Another big day at the Link, not for football, but for the NCAA Men's Division I Lacrosse Championships. But it's the play of the Eagles that's on the minds of all Philadelphians. Can the team get back to a Super Bowl and this time win it? NBC Sports Philadelphia's Danny Palmel's joining us with more on that and the Sixers news. Nick Nurse, what do we think, Danny?
Yeah, surprise, surprise. Never a dull moment around here. A guy that the Sixers battled really tooth and nail in the playoffs against, and now their head coach. We'll see how this all plays out in the coming days and weeks. But let's talk some Eagles, Jackie. The Birds remain one of the hottest teams in the league off of their NFC championship, and Sports Illustrated has been showcasing the Eagles a bunch as of late, led by senior writer Greg Bishop. We caught up with him last week to discuss Jalen Hurts, the team's front office, and why he's picking the Eagles to win it all.
You know, I've written a lot of profiles on star quarterbacks, you know, and he might be the most, self-aware, self-assured guy that I've ever sat with.
I ain't hungry. Coach Star always say hungry dogs run fast. I ain't hungry. I'm starving for this.
You know, you're talking Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson.
That's Greg Bishop, senior football writer for Sports Illustrated, explaining why and how Jalen Hurts has become the unquestioned leader of the Eagles.
Make each other better. Eagles on 3, 1, 2, 3. Eagles.
To me, there's an authenticity to him that really comes across.
Not a doubt in my mind when I'm out there on that field, the trust that I have in y'all boys, and the trust that we have in each other.
To me, it was really interesting over the course of last season, right? At first, the national take was sort of, he's surrounded by so many great players. And then he was out, and it's like, oh my God, they can't win without him.
Jalen has won 16 of his last 18 starts, and one of those losses, the Super Bowl, was also one of his best games. But as Greg documented for Sports Illustrated before the big game, Jalen was playing through pain.
I thought going into the Super Bowl that the team that would win would be the one with the healthier quarterback. And everyone was so focused on Mahomes' ankle that they didn't really know how hurt Jalen was. You know, this is a guy that probably shouldn't have come back in that game when he got hurt, a guy who wanted to play the next week, a guy they had to kind of hold back, and he did not go into the Super Bowl 100%. And I think the way he played, you know, minus one mistake, was truly, you know, MVP caliber performance.
That performance is just one of the reasons why Greg suggests in his most recent Sports Illustrated story on the Eagles that fans can book it. The Birds are going back to the Super Bowl.
If you had told an Eagles fan that this is what it would be like 3 months ago, I think they would have been ecstatic and overjoyed. You know, they were able to reconfigure. I think they'll be in the mix. I want to apologize to all Philadelphia sports fans for picking them to win the Super Bowl. I got a lot of stuff on Twitter about that. Hopefully this is the one time that I'm right. Fingers crossed.
While Greg is relying on luck, Jeffrey Lurie is banking on risk-taking. He encourages the entire Eagles organization to be what he calls risk-averse. So Greg asked the chairman, is there anything that scares you?
You know, that was a really fascinating part of our interview, in part because the way that he operates the Eagles, you know, you would think that nothing scares him. And what he answered was that complacency, you know, getting stuck in a rut, being typical, you know, those things scared him.
Howie Roseman shares that philosophy. He told Greg, quote, the NFL is set up for parity. To break out of that, you have to take some risks that give you a chance to be really good, but also to fall on your face. Howie has lived both sides of that, and Greg believes it's why the chairman and GM are so closely aligned.
They seem really in sync. I mean, this is not an easy job to be the general manager of a professional sports team in Philadelphia, let alone the Eagles. You've seen over the years, I think, how Howie's developed. You got the year away that he took off sabbatical, what he learned from that. And then I think that most teams in the NFL say they want to operate this way, that they will take risks, that they will follow their philosophy. And I think the Eagles are one that actually does it. But to do it in this market, in addition, is totally remarkable to me.
The Birds return to off-season workouts tomorrow, and you know the excitement level is only going to rise as the season approaches. For now, I'm Danny Palmel's. Jackie, back to you.
I mean, look, the fans are ready. Jalen's ready. Imagine him 100% healthy, the big fat paycheck, and as we heard him say, he's not hungry, he's starving.
Yeah, the schedule a little tougher this year, so we'll see how hungry he is. So.
Oh, all right, we'll be watching.